Well, we have to go for it. This is our last opportunity. See if it's enough. We got 11 stacks, baby. That probably is enough. Oh yeah, we got him. We got him, boys. Look at this. Ahoo! Oh my god. Hey everybody, welcome back. Thanks for taking the time to watch Hella Good Game. Today we're playing Elementals free-to-play. Now this would be a Temur free-to-play deck, 0 rares, 0 mythics. If you're interested in any other types of free-to-play decks, definitely check out our beginner's handbook in the description below. We're going to talk about the deck list, get into some strategy, show you guys some gameplay footage, and then come full circle with some closing thoughts. Thanks for watching. Now let's get into it. Our deck starts out with Scorch Spitter. This is a 1/1 elemental lizard, and whenever Scorch Spitter attacks, it deals 1 damage to the player or planeswalker it's attacking. We have 4 copies of this, of course. We also have 4 copies of Healer of the Glade. This is another 1-drop elemental. This little guy's got 1/2, and whenever he enters the battlefield, you gain 3 life. We have 2 Footlight Fiends. This is not an elemental. You're welcome to incorporate an elemental in lieu of this. However, we just liked the fact that when it dies, it's going to deal 1 damage to any target. That's kind of neat for us. So again, Footlight Fiend, this is a 1-drop, a 1/1, and when it dies, it deals 1 damage to any target. We have 4 copies of Cerulean Drake. It's flying, protection from red. You can sacrifice the Cerulean Drake, counter target spell that targets you, which is really cool. Creeping Trailblazer. This elemental is a 2/2, and other elementals you control get +1/+0. You can pay 4. Creeping Trailblazer gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each elemental you control. Cavalcade of Calamity, we all know this. This is an enchantment card. Whenever a creature you control with power 1 or less attacks, Cavalcade of Calamity deals 1 damage to the player or planeswalker that creature is attacking. I just had a light bulb moment. It says 1 or less. That means when you attack with a Gilded Goose or a Leafkin Druid, it's going to trigger Cavalcade of Calamity, you guys. So what we need to do is take this Footlight Fiend out, and we need to put in our Leafkin Druid. Please and thank you, you guys. That's an on-the-fly adjustment. Just had a light bulb moment. Moving on to our 3 jobs, we have Chandra Spitfire. This is another elemental, a 1/3 with flying, and whenever an opponent is dealt non-combat damage, Chandra Spitfire gets +3/+0 until end of turn. Uh-oh, you can see where this is going, right? Risen Reef, another 1/1, which is going to trigger our Cavalcade. Whenever Risen Reef or another elemental enters the battlefield under your control, look at the top card of your library. If it's a land card, you may put it into the battlefield tapped. If it's not a land card, it goes into your hand, which is pretty groovy. 2 copies of Light Up the Stage just to make sure that we're getting to our Cavalcade or our Risen Reef or /Chandra Spitfire, whichever we're really looking for, right? If we need a draw engine, we need the fire in behind with Cavalcade, or if we already have that, we're looking for a Chandra Spitfire. So Light Up the Stage, just a nice draw engine that's not dependent upon Risen Reef. You can tag it off with Scorch Spitter or something like that, right? Moving on to our 4 drops, we have 4 copies of Scampering Scorcher. This is a 1/1 elemental, pretty expensive for 1. However, when it enters the battlefield, create 2 other 1/1 red elemental creature tokens, and elementals you control gain haste until end of turn. So this is really cool if you have the mana to dump a Spitfire in, plus this or a 7. But again, that's a pretty high cost play and a very late game play at that. We'd like to finish it much earlier with things like Cosmotronic Wave. This is another 4-drop. Cosmotronic Wave deals 1 damage to each creature your opponents control. Creatures your opponents control cannot block this turn as well, which is really cool because all of our creatures are quite weak, so we don't want them to just die when we attack. We want them to survive turn after turn so we can really pump up that bird, and if we don't have the bird, just hit our Cavalcade damage. As far as lands goes, we're really focused on the red lands. You can see how prioritized that is. We have 4 islands, 7 mountains, 5 forests, 4 swift water cliffs, 4 rugged highlands, and that is our deck list, you guys. Let's kind of break down a little bit about the strategy as we move forward. So I'm sure you guys know exactly where we're headed with the strategy here. Cavalcade of Calamity, Chandra Spitfire. You're going to deal huge damage here. Now, normally people like to run this in a mono red deck, which is respectable, totally fine. But why ignore things like Risen Reef? This pumps out so much value, you guys, draw-wise. We also have Healer of the Glade, which pumps out life gain against red decks, which is great. And then again, we've got our own offense through Scorch Spitter. Cerulean Drake has protection from red, which is most of the meta, so that is great. You run a red deck with protection from red, you're all set. Again, Cosmotronic Wave is for when you've built up all your creatures and you just want to attack and survive. Scampering Scorcher helps you go wide. The main combo is just getting your Spitfire out with your Cavalcade of Calamity, And all of the other elementals support a high value play style, so your Chandra Spitfire should make it out ideally. We've switched in the Leafkin Druid now and dropped our Footlight Fiend. This way we have yet another elemental to tag off our Risen Reef, and because its power is less than 2, when it attacks as a 0/3, it will still trigger our Cavalcade of Calamity, so that's kind of a on-the-fly change there. I'm not really sure there's so much to discuss here other than what your priority drops are. Obviously, offensively, it's Scorch Spitter. Defensively, it's Healer of the Glade on turn 1. Turn 2, I like to play a creature primarily before I play Cavalcade because the creatures come in with Summoning Sickness, whereas the Cavalcade, once it's played, your creatures are going to have that effect immediately. So it's nice to get rid of your Summoning Sickness first if you can. Turn 3, if you're going offensively, have the Chandra Spitfire. That's your priority. If you don't, definitely get that Risen Reef out there so you can start drawing for that Chandra Spitfire and then light up the stage if you don't have a Risen Reef, right? So it's a nice priority stack there. And then again, if you can make it to turn 4, Scampering Scorcher, that's going to be ideal if he doesn't have any blockers. If he does, Cosmotronic Wave to shut down the blockers. We can also do other things on our turn 4 to build up and maybe do this turn 5, turn 6, turn 7 potentially, right? But again, we've gone through the deck list. Now we've talked about the strategy. I don't think there's anything more to mention than that. Creeping Trailblazer is maybe worth touching on. His ability to make him very strong is really cool if your opponent doesn't have any blockers. The +1/+0 is also going to nullify a lot of the Cavalcade situation. So you definitely don't want to play your Creeping Trailblazer with your Cavalcade. It's more of a utility. Anyways, with that all being said, if you have any questions about this deck, be sure to jump in the Discord. We'd love to discuss it with you there. We are also live every single morning, 6 a.m. PST. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know you're going to really appreciate today's gameplay footage. Take care. Okay, guys, I don't really care for this hand, if I'm being honest. This is like a lot of late game stuff. Nothing that we want. This is much better. Let's toss our wave. Going in slow here. Oh my god. If we draw a 3rd land next turn, we're laughing. Ooh, our opponent's laughing. We're gonna need the Phoenix to go over top. Well, I call it a Phoenix, but it's Chandra's Spitfire. There is something called too much of a good thing. That is Cavalcade of Calamity in this. We need to start getting a draw going on, so we're putting our Risen Reef away first. That actually works out really well. No attacks. Play defense until we can find our bird. Lego boy. So Helioid Suncrowned really is upsetting most times. Just giving your Johnny life gain for 2 is like really good. And not something I like to run into. I'd rather play mono red. Now he's got 2 Johnnies. Awesome.
I will be there. True friends always stand by your side.
Let's take the single draw first, see what we get. Probably should have played our Risen Reef first and taken the double draw. Right, a little bit of a misplay there, I think. We were hoping we could have got something and utilized the mana in a different way. Getting greedy with that Phoenix. And by golly, these are going to be some big Pride Maids. Ouchie. So Johnny made them all gain life for each creature. Or sorry, him gain life for each creature, and then that triggers Helioid. Excuse me guys, this juice is like wreaking havoc on my system. Woof. Oh god, no blocks, I don't think. We need our creatures here for damage. Let's take the little draw first and just see what we get. There it is. Don't need that. That will work. It's got haste. Oh, attacks. We found our bird. The question is going to be, can we get damage in next turn? Right? Can our Chandra Spitfire escape Vanishing Light? No, it cannot. He took a Cavalcade of Calamity instead, you guys. Oh my golly. I'm not 100% sure that was the correct play. I mean, he has just cannons of damage here. And taking the Cavalcade will help. Okay. 5, 10, 17, 23. Big huge hit. Got life gain here somewhere too, I bet. No. I wish this bird had haste. Shoot. We could have done this. We could have had haste on our other elementals. We need to draw land. Well, we have to go for it. This is our last opportunity. See if it's enough. We got 11 stacks, baby. That probably is enough. Oh yeah, we got him. We got him, boys. Look at this. Ahoo! Ow! Oh my god. Hello. Good game. That is budget tech, baby. All right, you guys. That first match was laughable. I don't know why I've got such an easy time beating people. Some days, a lot of people message me. They're like, "Ah, man, I couldn't win a single game with that deck." And I feel like maybe it's obviously because I'm making it, so I know exactly what the deck's designed to do. So that's probably it. Whereas that person's going to require more practice because they don't have that burned into their brain. Do not bone crush us. Straight to rim. Let's try to get some draw going first and foremost. Get a little damage in. The elementals are cool. We do need to find ourselves a Cavalcade of Calamity for this Torque. Hero of the Glaze, just offsetting the damage he does. We play our Cerulean Drake too and probably shut down a lot of his shenanigans. Oh yeah, that's a good play because that'll double ping. Well, it'll only single ping here because we don't have Cavalcade. But if you have Cavalcade out, the Scorch Spitter is very high value when comboed with Spitfire. Yeah, I guess. I mean, Pelt Collector goes up, but end of the day, There we go. So Cerulean Drake's safe from any more of his removal. Ooh, Questing Beast does some damage though, boys. Ouch! Ties the game up. I mean, we're gonna get in there. Gain some life. You know that saves the day, right? And I wish I could get both those birds out. Let's just slam in. Right? Get a couple damage this way. Down to 5 lethal next turn. Are we able to beat another top ranked mythic deck, you guys? 0 rares, 0 mythics? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. And so he's going as hard as he can, you guys, and we're still gonna beat him. You know what I mean? Ouch. Down to 3. Good game. Laughable. 0 rares, 0 mythics. So normally I would say this hand's no good. I don't want Cosmotronic Wave or Creeping Trailblazer really in our opening hand. But we've got a Risen Reef. We have a Chandra's Spitfire. Like even this 2-drop now of the Cerulean Drake is nice. Right, it's not an elemental, therefore we can get it out before our Risen Reef with no consequence. Our opponent does have a form of red. Playing Jeskai, Fairy Bounce, fine. Reef out. It's going to be very bad. Okay, we get a turn off. He doesn't have his cards. He needs another land, I'm sure. Something. Another top-ranked mythic deck, obviously, if you're playing the ranked queue.
I'll protect you.
In this situation, we do not have our Cavalcade out, so we're just gonna power. Oh, and there it is, of course. That's funny. We're gonna power everybody out just so we can get the kill on Teferi here. That's important to us. Getting a little utility out of our Creeping Trailblazer. Probably looking at a field wipe here plus a creature. Cavalcade of Gales. Worst case for us. Yeah, there it is. We came to that decision like much earlier than our opponent did. All right, what are we gonna see for the second play here? It doesn't have haste, so the 3/3 Deafening Clarion's not the worst, right? Because even if he gave himself life, like he couldn't execute on it. We have 5 lands. Oh my god. Nice. I don't think we've got the power to beat this, you guys. If we didn't get hit by that Deafening Clarion, we'd have enough power to kill him. That sweeper actually did save him. And again. I mean, he doesn't got trample, so we can at least get rid of that 9 damage. Still getting hit for 8, and he still gets just huge life gain out of that. Yeah, GG's. RIPs. If only, you guys, we still had capability. Came close though, and he got perfect removal twice in a row. He's just playing absolutely perfectly. Unfortunately, you can't win them all, but we did good. We did pretty good, I think. Right. That is the 12, I guess. And hit, and hit. Kills a token. Gain that life like it's gonna save us. Oh, it's not. He's got Rakish Instigator on the field. Yeah, it's still a match somehow. Give him the good game. He knows he's got it. Am I right? See how he decides to close it out. Second Cavalier of Flames. Still doesn't have Trample. You'll need Kenrith for Trample. Oh my Billy Goat. What do you do? 3 Deafening Clarions. Alright, you guys, that was our free-to-play Elementals. 0 rares, 0 mythics. I think it performed pretty well, honestly. We did beat some top-tier mythic decks, but we did lose, again, to Jeskai Fires, which is hard to beat. Came close, but he just had every answer for us. 3 Deafening Clarions, what can you do? Be sure to jump into the Beginner's Handbook if you're interested in an upgrade guide to this deck. It's something that we're definitely going to be taking a look at. Thanks for watching, you guys. I really appreciate your time and attention. We are live every single morning, 6 a.m. PST on Twitch, and you can jump in the Discord if you'd like to continue this conversation throughout the rest of your day. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a great day. If you liked today's video, be sure to check out some of our other content. We built playlists for our guides for beginners, and then we also have our greatest hits, which is a collection of our most popular videos. You can also subscribe if you're interested in winning up to 500,000 gems. So do that, tap that like button, send this out to a friend who you think might be interested in it as well, and have a great day.